Okay, I think I'm back in the portal, you understand me? Let me see if I'm back in the portal or not. You feel me? Alright, let's jump in. Let's go. Let's get it. Yeah! I'm back in the portal, man!
Hush not, child, and don't cry. Your folks might understand you by and by. Welcome to the portal. Just remember toward your destination. Though you may find from time to time complication. And take the trip. Though there may be plenty more ahead, and you cannot slip. Let's go! Just move on up. For peace of mind. Into the stable of people, where there's only one God. So hush now, child, and don't cry. Might understand you by and by. What it is, Curtis? And keep on wishing. Why? Remember your dream is your own scheme. So keep on wishing. Okay. You understand me? Yeah, I am back in the portal again. You understand me? Yeah, man. First off, I gotta give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true name of the living God of Israel. His name means he who exists. Yahweh Shai is the true name of the one that everyone ignorantly called Jesus. Reason is because the letter J was created in 1524. The Bible is way older than 1524, so we know his name couldn't have been Jesus. And the proper way that you say it is Yahweh Shai. And it means he who saves, okay? Rakakwadash is the proper way that you say Holy Spirit in the ancient language, which is the Paleo-Hebrew, and Bahashem is the proper way that you say in the name in the ancient language, which is the Paleo-Hebrew. Second and foremost, I have to pay homage to all the great men who came before me in your previous lifetimes, all of the great kings, prophets, seers, and priests, right, who came before me through and during the reincarnation process, doing the same thing that I am doing for you today in your modern day lifetime, and that is giving you this game. You understand me? Yeah, man. Back in the motherfucking portal again. You understand me? Yeah. Today, man, we're gonna talk about, you know, the wilderness, right? Because, you know, man, lately my lessons, you know, they've been, you know, following each other, you feel me? So I was like, man, you know, it was only right that I talk about the wilderness today, right? I talked about letting go and the healing process and, you know, carrying your cross, right? But there's a time period, right, that you go through, right, that prepares you to carry your cross, that prepares you to let things go, right? And this place, right, is where the healing process actually begins, right? And that's the wilderness, right? The wilderness, man. And you formulate a lot of thoughts there, man. You know, a lot of ideas come, a lot of realizations happen, you know, and some people can't take the wilderness, right? And if you never learn your lessons of what you're supposed to learn in the wilderness, right, you don't escape the wilderness, right? You always find yourself right back in it again. Or sometimes you find yourself, you know, inside of the wilderness longer than what you really was supposed to have been there, just like the children of Israel, right? But I played that song by Curtis Mayfield, right? The great Curtis Mayfield, right? Move on up. Because that's what it's all preparing you for, right? It's preparing you to move on up, right? Let's get some video clips out of here, man. Got some clips. You know how I do it. You feel me? What I want to go with. What I want to go with. We'll go here.
The best way to end something is to let it starve.
Let's go.
You see, conflict thrives on attention. The moment you engage, you feed it. And whatever you feed grows. But if you simply let it be, if you withdraw your energy, it withers away.
Right.
Like a fire deprived of air. The world is built on patterns, loops of cause and effect. Most people stay trapped within them, reacting endlessly, playing the same game over and over.
Right.
But here's the secret. You don't have to play. Step back, and the game collapses. Step away, and new pathways unfold. Where attention goes, energy flows. So if you wish to move forward, let go. Do not return negativity. Do not wrestle with what seeks to pull you in. Instead, remove yourself entirely. Break the cycle, and life will adjust to your absence. This is where real power lies. Not in resistance, but in redirection. You are not bound to old loops. You are the creator of new ones.
Let's get this clip right here, Mike.
The law of detachment. When you detach from everything, you attract everything. When you don't need any external energy to complete you, everything becomes inherently attracted to you. When you don't need anything, you gain everything. The best things in life come to you when you aren't searching for them.
Right.
The best way to end something.
Let me grab this clip right here.
Success isn't random. Failure isn't bad luck. Both follow 12 invisible laws. And right now, you're obeying every single one of them, whether you know it or not. These aren't opinions. These aren't tips. These are laws. Break them and you pay. Learn them and everything changes. 12. Count them. Law number 1, the law of identity. You will never outperform the story you tell yourself about who you are. Your income, your relationships, your body, they all bend to match your self-image, always. Law number 2, the law of the vacuum. You can't receive what you want until you release what you're clinging to. Full hands can't grab new things. Let go or stay stuck. Law number 3, the law of reversed effort. The harder you chase approval, sleep, confidence, the faster it runs. The things you want most only arrive when you stop suffocating them. Law number 4, the law of mirrored reality. The world doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you tolerate. Your standards are your destiny. Law number 5, the law of diminishing intent. The longer you wait to act on an idea, the less likely you ever will. Motivation has a half-life. It decays by the hour. Law number 6, the law of emotional gravity. You are pulled toward the emotional state of the 5 closest people in your life. Choose wrong, and no amount of willpower saves you. Law number 7, the law of silent repetition. The thought you repeat most becomes the belief. The belief becomes the behavior. The behavior becomes the life. It was never about one big decision. Law number 8, the law of the hidden payoff. Every bad habit you keep is giving you something. Comfort, distraction, sympathy. Until you name what you're secretly gaining, you will never quit. Law number 9, the law of inverted fear. The thing you're most afraid to do is almost always the thing you most need to do. Fear isn't a stop sign, it's a compass. Law number 10, the law of delayed identity. You don't change when you learn something new. You change when you stop identifying with something old. Information isn't transformation. Law number 11, the law of energetic debt. Every lie you tell yourself borrows energy from your future. Inauthenticity is expensive, and the bill always comes. Law number 12, the law of unconscious obedience. You are already following all 12 of these laws, every single day. The only question is, are you following them toward what you want or away from it? Save this. You won't remember all 12 right now.
Let's get it.
Once you start understanding quantum physics, you realize that everything is energy and nothing is separate. And then when you realize that they can measure your brainwaves with a magnet that doesn't touch your head, you realize that your thoughts are not in your head. And they're part of this greater field that we are all connected by. And they're now trying to understand how we actually store memories, which is a developing process. Some of it is protein-based, and some of it is this theory that we basically store our thoughts in the cloud. So basically you're accessing your own Wi-Fi field. And this is why there's a difference of like meeting somebody in person versus doing something over Zoom. Our biofields are interacting right now. There are low-level frequencies that our brains interact on. So having that biofield, you realize that like, you have your own biofield, you are your own Wi-Fi, you emit your own Wi-Fi. And so then thoughts can be the process of some of that Wi-Fi coming in, mostly directed as life force and energy, which is why like how you practice your energy and how you maintain your energy can really direct how your thoughts come out in your reaction.
Come on, man. Say,
Success
man.
isn't random.
I hope y'all catching this game.
Produces energy in the universe that, if you think often enough and long enough, will actually produce a physical result in your life. Our second level of creation is our words. Your word is really a form of energy. You're actually producing energy in the room with what you say. And that energy is creative. You say something often enough, loudly enough, and I promise you it will come to pass. If two or more start saying the same thing, I assure you it will come to pass. And when a whole group of people start saying the same thing, it cannot help but come to pass. This is called group consciousness, and it's, by the way, why the world is.
Let's get it.
The moment the wrong people realized who you truly are, the universe quietly assigned forces to make sure nothing and no one gets too close. That's not superstition. That's not paranoia. That's a spiritual fact backed by an earthly pattern. History shows that whenever someone carries a purpose bigger than their surroundings, invisible protection forms around them long before they understand why. It's the same way elite institutions automatically safeguard classified information, except in your case, you are the classified information. From the outside, your life probably looks normal, almost too normal. You wake up, drink your water, mind your business, and probably wonder why your peace irritates people who haven't even said good morning. But behind the scenes, oh, trust me, there are movements around your life that don't look anything like ordinary coincidence. People watch you who shouldn't even know you exist. Opportunities appear at the last minute like someone is fast-tracking your paperwork. Close calls avoid you like they've been warned not to touch you. You think it's luck? No, it's protection, assigned protection because of what others already know about you, the things you haven't even fully recognized yet. Certain individuals, spiritual and human, have observed you closely enough to spot what the average eye misses. They've seen the signs. The resilience you weren't supposed to have, the intuition that catches motives before mouths open, the grace that follows you even on your worst days, the uncanny way you survive things that leave other people in pieces. At some point, someone in the background looked at you and said, "Nope, this one cannot be touched. Guard them." And here's the funny part. Half the people assigned to protect you don't even look like protectors. Some look like random helpers,
strangers with perfect timing, or even people who enter your life for 5 minutes and disappear like undercover angels on a coffee break. But they show up exactly when they're needed. They block harm without making a scene. They guide you without announcing their role. They intervene so subtly you don't realize you were inches away from disaster until years later. Whether you know it or not, your life gives off signals, loud ones. Not the I'm special kind, not the ego kind, the kind that whispers to the unseen realm. This one has work to do. This one has impact coming. This one carries something rare. And because of that, forces were assigned to keep you alive, stable, and untouched long enough to reach what destiny has marked with your name.
You understand me? You know, man, I hope you guys are getting this game. You feel me? I wanna play this one right here, and we're gonna get into the lesson.
Hey, I'm looking for your honest opinion about this clip.
Watch this, we're gonna talk about it.
What is the one thing as a man you wish you would have known sooner?
Like growing up as a man?
Yeah.
The rules. I'll tell you what I mean.
Yeah.
Here's something that I learned later on. I wish I knew as a teenager, because all of us guys get taught the wrong thing. I wish I would have known what men are chosen for their value. I wish I would have known this. And here's what I mean. Girls, little boys, puppies, and women are just loved for being what they are. You just be you, I love you for being you. Some transition point from teenager to man, boys start being loved based on what we provide or what we bring or even our potential. The potential is even attractive. I wish I would have known that we're loved for what we provide, not just for being us. And it's a false expectation that we give to others, but others don't give to us. When a man pursues his dreams, his goals, his vision, he has a mission in life, that's attractive. But when a man settles his responsibilities down, starts giving everything to her, and she starts doing better at my sacrifice, I become less attractive. And then she'll find another man who's worked more on himself, because she'll be up higher because I gave her everything but didn't work on me.
Man!
I'm loved for my value. And men do that with each other too. We're loved for, like, what do you do, bro? What's your job? What we provide is our value. If I'd have known that, I would have been working on my own excellence and my own dreams sooner, instead of giving everything away.
You know, I honestly think that individuals would be a lot happier if they just accepted the rules.
And she right, if we just accepted the rules, right, we would be, right? He just gave game. You know, that fella just gave a whole lot of game, just did, dog. Like, if you wasn't able to get that game that he just spoke, and all the game that just came through, I just blessed y'all with a whole bunch of game just now, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is the last piece of game I'm gonna bless you with before we get into the lesson. Let's go, man. Get the great Alan Watts out of here.
Sexual energy is the Kundalini, is the serpent power, is the divine power. If you dissipate it in orgasm, you lose it. If you conserve it, you raise the power, raise the orgiastic feeling, but don't have orgasm. Instead, direct the sexual energy up the spine into the head, you'll get illumination.
And that's it. And you know, I ain't gonna lie, bro, like, this information about semen retention and Kundalini and sexual energy, like, this information is old, bro. It's old, bro. Like, it's nothing new. You understand me? Going through the wilderness is nothing new. Right? Old information, old process, right? Ancient process, but it always has to manifest. It always has to happen, right? You know, it's just one of those things. You know, before we got conquered by the Caucasians, right? It was mandatory for us to go through a rites of passage, right? It's just now we spiritually do it, right? Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah sets it up for us spiritually, right? Through the negativity of this world that we're experiencing over here in the West, right? But you gotta go through it, right? Let's get into the lesson, man. Let's get into the lesson, man. Man, that guy, man, what he spoke about that one, that's why we as men gotta be focused on our dreams and focused on what we need to be doing. Fuck what a host talking about and what she's saying, bro. Man, I had some videos I wanted to play on exes and, you know, women, you know, taking on sexual energy. You know, man, say, bro, I'm gonna be real. Like, at this point, we dealing with leftovers. You know what I'm saying? Be honest, and it's fucked up, and it's fucked up for me to even say what I'm about to say, but most women right now aren't meant to be taken serious, bro. They leftovers. They're operating off of other men's energy. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that they can never cleanse themselves from, right? That's why they do, you know, after they the whole stage, you know, they try to get on celibacy, or, you know, they try to, you know, run to the church. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel the dirtiness from that lifestyle, from that living, bro. Because they're not made to be with more than one man. You know what I'm saying? But man, they're part of the game. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's what I'm trying to say for us as men. You got to start looking at women as being a part of the game. Okay? They're not outside of the game. They're not playing the game with you. No, they are a part of the game. And once you understand that, right, then there's a higher, you know, probability of chance that you ain't gonna stay in the wilderness long, right? Let's get into this lesson, man. The wilderness, right? The making of a king, right? From breaking to becoming, the hidden process of power, right? The wilderness, where identity is stripped, right? That's what's going on when you enter the wilderness stage, right? Your identity is being stripped, right? Killing off the old man. KJV scripture, right? Let's get it. Deuteronomy 8:2. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee, to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, right? And that's why the Most High do it, right? That's why he bring you through the wilderness, right? To humble you, to prove you, right? To strip away and really recreate you. Matthew 4:1. Then was Yahushua led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted, right, of the devil, right? It happens, right? It's gonna happen, right? You gonna have that little boy inside of you that's gonna want to break free. He gonna want comfort, okay? Let's get the meaning, right? The wilderness is not punishment, it is exposure and stripping, right? Right? Sometimes the Most High put you on a mission where you'll leave your family. Right? You understand me? Sometimes it might be by force, right? Or it might just be an ideal that he'll put in your mind, right? Because he knows as long as you're around your family, right, you're going to be in a boy mind frame, right? So he'll make you move like the great one, Abraham, right? It removes comfort, dependency on people, emotional crutches, distractions, false identity. God does not reveal a king in a palace. He reveals him in isolation, right? I remember one time, bro, this brother that I know personally, right? That, you know, right now, you know, he going through his little rough, you know, patch, you know, just like most of us, you know what I'm saying? But I remember, man, when I seen him, I was like, what's good, King? He was like, nothing, King, I'm cooling, you heard me? You know what I'm saying, trying to get it. And I walked in the store, and I remember this chick came up, and she was like, why you calling him king? You know, he not a king. He outside, he begging for money. He not a king. I say, that's not what determines a king. I say all kings, right? I say before you see them in their kingly fashion, right? In their kingly nature, before you see them in that mode there, I say that's what you see in the beginning, right? The broken spirit, right? Your spirit has to be broken before you step into the role of a king, right? Let's get a scenario. A man loses job, relationship, stability, social validation. Now he is alone. No applause, no backup plan, no emotional support system. This is the wilderness phase, where God removes everything that is not him, so only truth remains. Yeah, you naked now. You naked now. Right? That's why I don't give a fuck about these hoes. Remember my ex, bro, like before we got in our little turn right now, you know, I was like, man, I never depended on you. Never. And I said it with confidence. Why? Because through each separation that I've been through, guess what? When my car fucking up, bitch, you nowhere around. None of them hoes. Be honest with you fellas, man, you ain't gonna really catch no woman around, you know, when you going through your situation or your mode, bro. You understand me? It's only gonna be God though. I'm gonna be real with you. That's the only one you gonna recognize as God. Right? It's just real, bro. It's just real. It's gonna be times, bro, that you gonna really, you know, see and look around and be like, man, what, nobody here with me but God. Right? That's when you know you in the wilderness. That's when you know you being prepared to be built strong, right? You in the right mind frame, you in the right spirit, right? This is the wilderness phase where God removes everything that is not him, and so only truth remains, right? Now let's get into the next point, the breaking, right? The death of the old man, right? Psalm 34:18, the Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, right? Yeah, you know, God gonna get rid of your bitch, gonna get rid of your car, but it had that hoe breaking down every other day. Yeah. You understand me? Then they get rid of your apartment, get rid of your home. I had that hoe breaking down every other day. Yeah. Get rid of your job. Right? Yeah. He wants you in a broken spirit. 2 Corinthians 4:8-9. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. Cast down, but not destroyed. Right? Yeah. Let's get the Apocrypha, right? Sirach, right? Ecclesiasticus 2:4-5, right? Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take thee cheerfully, for gold is tried in the fire. Yeah. So all the bullshit that you going through, man, you supposed to laugh at it, even though I know that's hard to do at times. I know that's hard to do at times. But you gonna get so adjusted of going through this shit that you gonna laugh really to keep from crying. Trust me. Trust me. You understand me? Let's get it. Let's get the meaning right. Breaking is when ego collapses, pride gets exposed, emotional illusions die, dependence on flesh fails. This is not destruction. It is refinement. Like gold and fire, impurities rise to the surface. Everything fake is burnt off. Right? You becoming stronger now. Right? So when your ex do come back around, you a whole different person. When you do go back around your family, you're a whole different person. They can feel the strength. They feel the power. Right? People used to smoke and drink with, they don't even recognize you anymore. And when they do recognize you, they feel the power. Let's get a scenario. A man used to be loud, impulsive, chasing validation. Now becomes what? Quiet, observant, controlled, disciplined. People think he is losing himself, but spiritually, he is losing who he was not. That's all he losing. Who they thought he was a fucking imitation. It was fake. Right? But since he done went through the wilderness, since he done going through the fucking breaking point, right? The multiple of breaking points, right? It humbled him. The testing of a king, obedience under pressure, right? James 1:12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life. Genesis 22:1-2. God tested Abraham. Take now thy son and offer him, right? 1 Peter 1:7. The trial of your faith being much more precious than of gold, right? Meaning, right? Testing reveals obedience versus emotion. You gonna be in your feelings like a little bitch, or you just gonna be obedient and get the work done? Discipline versus impulse, right? You gonna be reactionary like a bitch, or you gonna exercise your discipline? Sometimes you gotta exercise discipline and let shit go, right? Faith versus fear, right? Purpose versus pleasure. A king is not crowned because he wants it. He is crowned because he can handle pressure without collapsing. See, the only way you can do that, though, you done had to been in a motherfucking low point that every other situation that come behind it don't even faze you. All right? Scenario, you are in a situation where money is tight, temptation is available, shortcuts are offered, emotional reactions are triggered, but you don't move. You wait, you think, you obey principles instead of feelings. That is king testing, right? Transformation, right? The emergence of Psalm 91 man, right? Psalm 91, 1-2, right? He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High, which is his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Psalm 91:7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, but it shall not come nigh thee, right? Why? Because you protected. Right? Because your mission here on the earth, just like that clip I played, right? Your mission here on the earth is so big, you got spiritual entities in the spiritual realm that understand it, and like, you know what? We got to protect him. We got to protect him. Yeah, shit fucking up in your life and shit, but for some odd reason, you always coming out. That's not luck. That's spiritual protection, right? The Psalm 91 man is spiritually covered, mentally stable under chaos, not ruled by fear, hidden in discipline and obedience. He does not react like the world. He operates from the secret place. He operates from this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? Scenario, while others panic, economic instability, chaos around them, confusion everywhere, the Psalm 91 man stays calm, moves strategically, doesn't fold under fear, walks with discernment, not because life is easy, but because he is covered through alignment. He know the rules to the game, right? The Israelite woman prophecy, right? Isaiah 4:1, right? Isaiah 4, let's get it. Isaiah 4:1, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name. Meaning, right, this represents societal collapse of structure, scarcity of stable men, desperation for covenant identity, reversal of pride and independence illusions. Yeah, these hoes, they gonna get a wake-up call. Right? The man in that prophecy is spiritually preserved, established in purpose, recognized as stability and chaos. Right? He is spiritually protected. That's why these hoes gonna gravitate to him. Hoes gravitate to spiritually protected men now. Right? Scenario, in a destabilized society, many relationships are unstable. Emotional survival replaces luxury expectations. Women seek stability more than image. The man of name is not just romantic, it is a man with order, discipline, and survival alignment. But the key is, he is not formed by attention, he is formed by wilderness. Right, he done been through it. He done been through it. And 9 out of 10, he looking at them hoes like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about now one of you hoes. I'm only concerned with what the mission is that my God got for me. And if you hoes ain't here to elevate or aid that mission, bitch, you could die today. You could die today. give a fuck about you. Right? You not here to bring peace in my motherfucking life while I'm going through the mission, bitch, you could die today. Not tomorrow, ho, today. Right? But in that day, women gonna be begging to bring peace to a man, because they gonna need protection. Let's get a final transformation, what God was really building, right? Romans 5, right? 3 through 4. Tribulation, work of patience, and patience, experience, and experience, hope, right? Job 23:10. When he have tried me, I shall come forth as gold, right? I told y'all guys, man, God don't see you guys how your bitch see you, how your baby mama see you, how your wife see you, how your old lady see you, how your family see you, how your kids see you, you know, how your job see you, how your homies and them see you. God don't see you like that. He see you as gold. Right? That's how the Most High God see you. He see you as gold. Right? And gold got to get put through that fire. Right? It has to be purified in order to have that beautiful shine that it has. Right? And the shine that we have, right, that's the glory of the Most High God as of resting upon our souls and resting upon our life. Right? Wisdom maketh a man face to shine. Right? When he applied his game in his life, right, the testimony of his life, right, is a testimony of the game. It's a testimony of the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding. Let's get the final truth. The wilderness was never to destroy you. No, it wasn't. It was to produce what, chat? Discipline over desire, obedience over emotion, clarity over confusion, strength over dependency, identity over limitation. Oh, I'm sorry, over imitation, which still leads to limitation. Right? Because if your identity is over imitation, guess what? You got a limited mind frame. You ain't connected to the Most High God who operates out of abundance. Let's get the final summary flow, right? Wilderness equals isolation. Breaking equals ego death. Testing, obedience under pressure. Refinement equals purification. Psalm 91, man, equals divine covering through discipline, right? Spiritually protected. Isaiah 4:1, man, stability recognized in chaos, right? Now motherfuckers starting to recognize that you spiritually protected. It ain't like they ain't never seen it. They already knew it, but pride was in the way. Right? Let's get the closing line, right? God doesn't crown comfort. No, he doesn't. He crowns what survives the wilderness without losing obedience. That's powerful. Let me say that again. God doesn't crown comfort. He crowns what survives the wilderness without losing obedience. Right? That's what he crowns. Right? As a man, nobody gives a fuck about you. Nobody gives a fuck about what you got going on. Nobody gives a fuck what you about to go through. Right? It's only one who cares. And that's the Most High God. Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Right? He's the only one that cares. Right? Everything else is just part of the game. Right? And sometimes in the game, just like any game, right, you're going to have certain NPCs, certain characters that's going to come and help you out. But at the end of the day, they're still part of the game. Right? You got to understand, man, when you in that wilderness stage, and a lot of you guys might be entering the wilderness right now, might be in the wilderness right now. I know for myself, personally, I am in the wilderness. Right? This is where kings are forged. This is where kings are created. Right? And just because you in the wilderness now don't mean that you ain't going to never come back to the wilderness again. right? As long as you on this earth, you're going to always have to come back and visit the wilderness, right? But it's only to be for your lessons to be learned, right? Because guess what? You don't learn your lessons the way that they need to be learned. That can delay your time in the wilderness. You understand me? And I hope you guys have learned something out there. And until I see you guys again in the portal, I ask that Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, keep you guys blessed out there. And man, hold your head. You understand me? You know, it don't rain forever. You feel me? It don't rain forever. You know, and we gonna be all right. You feel me? And until I see you guys in the portal again, and until next time, I'm out.